Well, Brad, very competitive to half-time. Did you see that coming, probably the first 10 minutes of the third?
No, I didn't see 3 50-minute penalties coming, no. We thought we were poor in the first half too. It wasn't a good night for us, really, at any stage of the game. We were really disappointed with the way we were playing at half-time, and we didn't get the spike that we expected. We got the opposite in that first 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. So we've got to go back and work out whether it was actually undisciplined stuff that cost us or otherwise. But I thought we were badly beaten in the midfield all night, not just in the third quarter.
Was it the transition forward and decision making going to 50 most damning?
Yeah, it's sort of came. It's been pretty good most of the year. It's as bad as we've taken the ball forward all year. It was just a combination of really poor ball use, skill execution, decision making, all the above. It was just not what we've trained and not what we've produced and displayed so far this year. So it was very disappointing on that front, which then also didn't give us a chance to defend, because the way we turn the ball over going forward you just can't defend that.
When you say you've got to go back and have a look whether it was lack of discipline or not, does that mean like you could have just been stiff to have 3 50-metre penalties in a short space of time, or was it more likely they got, they sort of the blood was churning too fast? Or you don't see that often, do you?
No, all I mean by that is simply that coaches can jump to conclusions and start screaming and yelling and carrying on because of 50-metre penalty. Oh, it must have been undisciplined, but we'll have a look and make sure it was. I'm not going to discipline anyone when perhaps it's not warranted, but if it is warranted, I certainly will.
I did pay a lot of free kicks, or certainly in the first half. I'm looking at the average here. Did you feel like it was over-officiated early on?
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't thinking about it a great deal. I was thinking more about some of the heinous ball use.
What were you thinking with the dribble kick, Jared Waite? It's sort of you thought, well, it's not going to happen for us tonight.
Oh, well, it's just probably fed into the mix of things that you just think, gee, this is not what we've produced so far this year, even in games that we haven't managed to get over the line in. So, but I mean, it's easy in hindsight. Mason would dribble one through. Wade, he just missed.
Did you feel like their pressure forced a lot of your turnovers, or was it?
Yeah, no, I thought their pressure was good. Yeah, credit to Richmond with they picked a small side and they picked a high pressure side, and their improvement this year has clearly come from an increase in forward half pressure, and they put us under the pump. So it's not fair just to say that we were poor. I think a lot of our mistakes came from their pressure. So that's a credit to Richmond.
So where do you reckon you're at? I mean, you're sort of still part of that very big cluster of teams around the mark. Richmond's sort of part of that too.
Yeah.
Are they sort of a step ahead of you, or are you on the same level as them? Or?
Well, I think if you probably remove that period in the start of the third quarter, it was probably a tighter game than the final scoreline suggests. But you can't remove that period. So. We think we're trying to play a style of footy that if we execute what we want to do, that we're going to be competitive against anyone. But like the rest of the competition, when you play poorly, you can get exposed pretty quickly. And so we've just got to hang in. We've got to reassess where we're at the halfway point, and then load up for a real crack at it in the second half. But we're certainly not going to die wondering. We're not going to. Even late in the game, we were trying to win the game. I know it was unlikely with 5 or 6 minutes to go, but we want to play a style that if we get it right, then we can beat any team in the comp anywhere. So we'll just reassess, load up for a real crack at the second half of the year.
You seem obviously pretty downcast about the performance tonight. Was there anything that actually...
What do you want me to do, star jumps?
No, but is there anything that actually pleased you about tonight? I mean, obviously it was probably a tough night for you.
No, not much pleased me at all. We got slaughtered in the centre bounces, 18-8, with what should have been a dominant ruckman. We got outworked in transition. We were terrible with our ball use going forward. We succumbed to pressure. There wasn't much to like about tonight, but again, it should have been a tighter game than it was, most likely. So that in itself suggests that You know, in the past, probably going back 4 or 5 years ago, if we'd played like that, we would have been absolutely pumped. Game would have been over by half time. So the foundations, I think, are still pretty good, but it was just a really poor night generally.
Do you think the thing that separates the very best teams now from the rest is ball use under pressure, quality of ball use?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. If you can execute going forward, it doesn't allow the opposition to pressure you. And you know, Richmond's pressure was very good, but if we'd been able to execute our skills and decision making, you know, you can't defend uncontested marks. So, but if you miss them, then you invite the pressure. So, yeah, the good teams execute their skills consistently.
Thanks,